One of my favorite patterns of buck fixed blade knives is the Buck 102 Woodsman. And I want to briefly go over some of the history of the Woodsman and show you 5 different models of this knife that I currently have. Now the 102 was first introduced officially as the model 108, and it was available in 2 different blade lengths, 3.5 inches and 4 inches. The blades were made from an old high carbon steel file. A few of them were made with power hacksaw blades. They were hand hollow ground. The guard and pommel were made of dural or aluminum, and the handle was made of lucite, or sometimes bakelite or other plastics. And all of those handles materials and the aluminum for the pommels and guards, those were all recycled that Hoyt Buck used. So the following introduction is from a 1948 catalog, and it says, suitable for small game such as rabbits, coon, possum, and birds. Handy camping. The 108 came in a 3.5-inch blade for $5 and a 4-inch blade for $5.50. In 1949, the model number officially became the 102, and the catalog described it as a beautiful knife for small game and a deer hunter who favors a heavier, longer blade than the 108. This knife is also popular with fishermen, and the cost was $5.50. In 1951, the Model 102 was given the name Woodsman's Pal and was offered in either a lucite handle or a ligum vitae wood handle. These knives were still made of old files made of high carbon steel, and they were still hand hollow ground. In the mid-1950s, the name became Woodsman. Now in 1961, Buck Knives was incorporated in El Cajon, California by Al Buck and his sons, Chuck and Frank. With a new factory in place, updates to the models came with it, and around 1960s, a forged 440C blade started being used. The handle material was changed to black phenolic, which is still used today, with aluminum guard and pommel and red bone hard fiber spacers. So starting on the left here, I'll start with my oldest model of the Buck 102. And it comes with the fold-over flap. That's the old style of belt sheath for it. You can see it has Buck stamped there in the leather and on the snap. And as we turn it over, it's got 102 stamped into the back of the sheath. And this is the standard black phenolic handle. But you'll see here the tang stamp is upside down for us today. It's an inverted tang stamp. You have to turn the knife around this way to read it. And you can see it just simply says Buck USA. There is no model number on it. Now this knife was made somewhere between 1967 and 1972. We can move on here to this next one, and this was made in 1998. And it has Coppola handle to it, and it has a brass guard and pommel, and this would be in their 420HC. And as you can see on it now, it has Buck 102 and then a date symbol, which there's a chart that you can read that date symbol from, and then USA on it. So same knife, it's just a little different handle material, and the guard was made from brass instead of aluminum. And what's interesting with this sheath is it has the old Buck logo that was used in the 1990s. So it says Buck Knives, and then there was like a mountain scenery there. And of course it's in the brown leather sheath, and it's got the wraparound closure to it. Next we'll move on to some more modern 102s. And this one is from 2019. And it has the black belt sheath with Buck stamped on it with the anvil. And there's a look at the snap. And of course it's got 102 stamped on the back. So this one was made in 2019. It's red canvas micarta. And it's in S30V steel. There's a look at that tang stamp there. Actually, it's printed. It's not stamped. And then there's the blade steel and the Boz heat treatment symbol on it. So red micarta with aluminum pommel and guard. And I'm showing you these different varieties because one thing that's interesting with this model of knives and a lot of their fixed blades is they came out, it's the same model, but they came out with different steels, different handle materials. So there's just a whole wide variety for the collector out there. Now we're going to move up to the year 2020. And again, the standard belt sheath that comes with these more recent knives. And this one is made out of green canvas micarta. And of course, aluminum pommel and guard. Again, it's printed on there. It says Boz for the heat treatment, and S35VN is the blade steel for this one. And there's the show side. Nope, actually that's the pile side. So that's number 4. And then number 5 was made in 2021. So I got 19, 20, and 21 here. Again, the standard belt sheath. We'll look here. We can see it says Boz D2. This is in D2 steel. There's a shot at the tang. And this is in Cocobolo also. This is a very special knife to me because this was given to me by my good friend, the Kirby Creek outfit. He surprised me one day and mailed this to me and said it belonged in my collection. And boy, boy howdy, he knew I loved this pattern of knife, and what a wonderful gift from KCO. Thanks again. I can't say thanks enough. So there you have it. There's 5 different models from throughout the years, 67 to 1972. This one's from 1998, and then 2019, 20, and 21. Now, if you look here close, you can see that the pommel and the guard is just a little bit different on these older knives. It's just a little bit thicker, and you can see the difference in the shape of the pommel. It's a little bit wider and it's more squared off there. So that's what's interesting about collecting these old knives, is I like to look at all the little different changes to them. This one here is kind of ramped up a little bit more, has more of a ramp, and the modern ones here are more just squared away, or squared off, not squared away. They're squared away too, but they're squared off. Kind of see the difference there. Well, I hope you've enjoyed the look at my Buck 102 collection here. I sure enjoy these knives. I look forward to getting more of them. I know there's been like Buck of the Month Club issues of the 102, one with stacked leather on it. I've seen that on eBay and I missed it, and I haven't seen one since. But there's all kinds of variations in the handle material and the steels. So, you know, Buck just keeps innovating and offering new steels, new handle material, a wide variety. I'm sure there's a 102 that just fits your style. So I really appreciate it once again for taking the time to watch. Down in the bottom right hand corner, I'm putting a link to my Buck Knives playlist. I have lots of wonderful Buck videos there for you to enjoy. Of course, down in the center is that big round knife delights. Hit that if you'd like to subscribe. And down in the lower left-hand corner, well, that's the next video that YouTube thinks you should watch. So until next time, have a very delightful day.